I think if I had to pick one that really inspired me to perform, it would definitely be The Wizard of Oz. My parents showed it to me at a very early age. It was back in the day when it was just on at Christmas, so they'd record it on VHS. And apparently I used to watch it all the time, constantly. And they actually had to re-record it each year just because the videotapes ended up wearing out. And then my parents really saw in me that I love to perform, I love to sing, I love to dance, and they sort of pushed me in that right direction. One of the most challenging things about being in this profession, and this sort of happened as I got older, when I was 18, I sort of thought that I can do anything, I can just go for it, I'm going to walk in, get the part straight away. Now it's 10 years later. Coming off that, one of my biggest regrets is that when I was 13, I was actually offered a car commercial, and at the time I had long hair and they said you can have it if you cut your hair. I said I don't want to cut my hair, but looking back, I would have cut my hair. I just transformed to a different part of myself, because usually if it's a character I've worked on for at least a small amount of time, I sort of become that character. I become King Louis, or I become, I don't know, the narcoleptic Argentinian from Moulin Rouge, or I become Desmond from Medicine Men, you know? You sort of, that's always a part of yourself. To be honest, upon reflection, I think that I didn't get as far as I have, or sorry, as far as I wanted to early on with acting, is because I was more focused on paying rent and not so much on just having that drive to really push myself and say, you know what, I'll go hungry this week. I just really wanted to focus on being a bartender and being one of the best bartenders. And I also got a lot of satisfaction, or I'm not quite sure how you put it, but I worked at Dracula's Cabaret for 5 years and I got to perform, and I've always worked in customer service, which is a performance unto itself. I love you, I love you, I love you. One of the Aussie greats, Denise Drysdale, when I think I was about 10 years old, I was at the Victorian Youth Theatre, and I was about to play my first opposite sex role. I played a role called Queenie, and she actually had come to see the show because she was a patron of the company. And on the opening night, just before the opening night, and she said, if you do a good job, they probably won't even know that you're a boy. And that was one of the best pieces of advice I ever got. So now that I'm actually producing my own film, making my own film, doing what I want to do on my own terms, I don't know where it's going to go, but I feel much more in control and I feel much more confident, as opposed to when I was auditioning every other week for roles that I probably wasn't right for, but my agent just said, go for it. You might get it, you might not get it. So I've decided that I sort of have a little bit more control over where my career is going to go.